Just to take you through all that's happened, an Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner has crashed near Ahmedabad just minutes after takeoff. It marks the first ever crash involving this particular aircraft model. Renowned for its advanced technology, robust safety systems, the Dreamliner's unexpected failure will raise urgent questions. Investigators now relying on data from the black box to uncover the cause of the tragedy. Take a look at the details in this report.
The air crash in Ahmedabad on Thursday is the first ever crash of a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. The Air India plane en route to London from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport crashed just minutes after takeoff. The crash marks the first catastrophic loss of a 787-8 Dreamliner since the model's debut in 2011. Equipped with the latest avionics, fly-by-wire controls and multiple layers of automated safety protocols, Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner is globally recognized for its reliability and advanced engineering. The first model in Boeing's Dreamliner series. This is a state-of-the-art long-haul wide-body aircraft designed for efficiency, passenger comfort and reduced environmental impact. Widely used for intercontinental travel, this aircraft features integrated modular avionics, a centralized system that reduces component count, streamlines maintenance and boosts performance. With a seating capacity of 242 to 290 passengers, the aircraft can fly up to a range of 13,530 kilometers non-stop. Made with advanced composites, the aircraft is lighter and more fuel-efficient, making it perfect for long-haul journeys. The cause of the crash remains unknown. The incident had immediate financial repercussions. Boeing shares dropped 8% in the US, pre-market trading following the crash. The critical question now is, what went wrong? The investigators will find vital clues in the flight data recorder or the black box, which is placed at the rear end of the Dreamliner. The black box is designed to survive crashes. Bureau Report, India Today.
Some big breaking news at this moment. One survivor. Ahmedabad Police Commissioner now telling ANI, speaking to ANI on a phone call. Ahmedabad Police Commissioner says, GS Malik, the police have found one survivor in seat 11A. One survivor has been found in the hospital and is under treatment. Cannot say anything about the number of deaths yet. The death toll may increase as the flight crashed in a residential area. So that's the big news that we are getting at this moment. There is hope. One survivor has walked out unscathed. Lone survivor. The white t-shirt. The person you're seeing in the white t-shirt is the miracle survivor. Seat 11A, a survivor who was in seat 11A reportedly has managed to come out virtually unscathed. We're trying to get more details on that because prima facie that seems miraculous. But that's what we are being told. A miracle survivor of Air India plane crash. One survivor has walked out unscathed. I'm going to try and get from the passenger manifest his exact details because we had that passenger manifest. 11A, Ramesh Vishwas Kumar Buchavarda Diu, age Ramesh Vishwas Kumar, age 38, is safe. He jumped from the flight. That's right. That's what we are being told now, that there could be one miracle survivor from seat 11A. Speaking to ANI on a phone call, Ahmedabad Police Commissioner says the police found one survivor in seat 11A. He's been found and taken to the hospital, is under treatment. Cannot say anything more about the number of deaths. The death toll may increase as the flight crashed a residential area. But we will try and get you as many details at the moment That's the one positive news coming in on this very dark day. One potential survivor, miracle survivor of the Air India plane crash. Brijesh Doshi is now joining us live from Ahmedabad. Brijesh, we're just getting this news that there could be one survivor from seat 11A.
Definitely, Radib, this is a big miracle if this news comes true. As per the Ahmedabad Police Commissioner, one lone passenger was jumped from the plane during this incident. So it is not less than a miracle if he is alive, and he's alive after such a horrible incident. Right now we are at the place. I would just like to show you the visuals of the plane which was stuck at Vijay Medical Hostel mess, where the Indian doctor were taking lunch in the noon, and this plane was crashed on that mess where more than 30 Indian doctors were present there. Some of them are somewhere died due to this incident, but there is no official figures given yet how many doctors are alive or how many doctors have died. But this is the wreckage of the plane which is still there. And now the Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel has reached at the spot right now, where he is taking the stock of the situation, how the incident was occurred and how it has happened. So Gujarat Chief Minister has reached to the spot, and he is taking the stock of the situation, how this incident was occurred. The Chief of the Police, DGP, is with him. He is briefing the Chief Minister here that how it was happened and how the incident was occurred, how the rescue operation was done, how the teams reached here, be it NDRF, SDRF or the armed forces were reached on the spot after the incident. So these are the review, taking a stock of the review of the situation right now. In a short while from now, Union Home Minister Amit Shah will reach here. He will also visit the site, and he will also look the situation. But this is the site where the plane was crashed, and hostel mess. We have been told that this is a Vijay Medical's hostel mess, where this plane was crashed in the noon, where more than 50 people were here with doctors and their families, and the local people were there also in this mess. But there is no confirmation yet how many people are alive or how many people are died. We have to wait for the official confirmation. But the good news, as per the Ahmedabad Police Commissioner, that one lone survivor of this incident was saved, and he jumped from the flight during this incident.
Do you believe in God? If that is true, in a flight like that, with the kind of crash that's taken place, if there's a survivor, it's a miracle. In a flight like that, with the kind of crash that's taken place, if there's a survivor, it's a miracle. Now, we're trying to get you more details of this, but this is a story that gives you some hope. Remember, officially, or at least the police commissioner told us earlier on record, that 204 people reportedly had died. There were 243 on board. But we are being told that this is the possible survivor. Now, whether the survivor, also whether given the way he's walking, he seems relatively unscathed. But we're trying to get more details of this. Was he on the flight, seat 11A, as some are suggesting? Was he on the ground? More details will come in a moment, but clearly this could be just that one ray of light on this very, very dark day for Indian aviation, civil aviation in particular. It's given us some reason to hope amidst all the despair that we brought you over the last few hours. I'm going to try and get more details. We'll try and get the police commissioner to confirm that this indeed, the person you're seeing on your screen, he was sitting in 11A. One report is that he jumped out of the plane as it was catching fire. But even so, that needs to be confirmed as to his identity, and whether that indeed the person there is the person who has survived miraculously in this air crash. One survivor reportedly walking out unscathed. Okay, I'm joined by Sanjay Lazar at this moment, aviation expert and CEO Avia Lars, and Wing Commander Vikram Mahajan, a former military helicopter pilot, presently flying helicopters commercially. Wing Commander Anil Goel, a pilot and aviation specialist, is also with us. I'll also be joined by Group Captain Narayan Deepak, retired test pilot. As I've been saying, we don't want to speculate. It's just too early to give reasons, but I want to give each and every one of you an opportunity to give your first thoughts when you heard of this crash. Sanjay Lazar, why don't you start first?
Thank you, Rajdeep. Thank you for having me on your show. And very sad day for Indian aviation, Air India, and global aviation as well. My heart goes out to all the families of the passengers, the crew, and the families of the students at the hostel, medical hostel. The 787, as we know, is a very trusted, reliable aircraft, 1,200 of them flying in the skies. And this is the first major incident, stroke accident for any 787. So it will come as quite a surprise. The pilots had almost 10,000 hours of experience on aircrafts, and they're not new to this field. So obviously there was something really out of the ordinary that went on here. The takeoff profile seemed okay. From what I can glean only from the videos and basic information was that the pilot took off, and then at 625 feet they started falling, and then they crashed. This could possibly be catastrophic loss of power in both engines, or an major ingestion of birds, or just total engine failure. That's how I can see it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me, Wing Commander Vikram Mahajan, your first thoughts when you heard of this air crash, 5 minutes into takeoff, a 787 Dreamliner crashing in this manner.
It's a very sad day for Indian aviation today. As I got to know, my heart goes out to all the people who've lost their lives and their families today, be it the crew, be it the passengers on the aircraft, or those on the ground there. As I went through a bit of history, it's been 40 years since any Indian airline lost a wide-body aircraft. The last crash being on the 23rd of June, 1985, which was the Kanishka crash. That was an act of terror. And prior to that, if we were to attribute it to some other reasons other than terror, then it was the 1st of January 1978. We lost Emperor Ashok flying out of Mumbai on the early morning of 1st of January. So if we go back into record, the wide-body fleet of our country has had an absolutely wonderful record. So there is no reason to believe any other way. However, as we look at the footage that we see both on TV, on social media, otherwise, something drastic has definitely gone wrong. As also it emerges from the Mayday call which has come from the pilots. No further calls have been heard from the pilots, probably because they have been busy trying to settle something that's unnerved them, unsettle them right after takeoff. It is a very, very critical phase. The rest, I would not like to speculate. Let the inquiry happen. Let the records come out. But very, very sad day for Indian aviation. A very tragic crash.
Wing Commander Anil Goel, your first reaction, sir.
Sir, very good evening to all of you. And as Wing Commander Vikram sir said, it is a tragic day, and our heart goes out to all the crew, passengers, and their relatives. And one thing which has stood out, that both the airport, the Ahmedabad airport, and the Air India has stood to the occasion, and they've set up the sails to give all possible information to their relatives, and they're handling the situation very well. So I hope that they continue to do so and help out all the victims and their families, because a lot of people will be asking a lot of questions. And I hope we are able to go through this tragic situation in a befitting manner of as an emerging superpower. That's all I would like to say at this moment.
Let me bring in Group Captain Narayan Deepak. You're a retired test pilot. Your first reaction, sir.
Thank you, Rajdeep. I suspect it's a. I'm just speculating. It could have been a bird strike leading to loss of power in both the engines, because it's a controlled flight into terrain. It's completely controlled. and the aircraft is just flying smoothly straight into the ground. In between, I got some messages regarding that there was total electrical failure at 625 feet, and the aircraft was descending at some 475 feet per minute, and the pilots had barely 2 minutes to recover. I'm personally pretty sure that total electric failure will not lead to loss of power. So, in all probabilities, it could have been a bird flight leading to total loss of power.
You're saying it could have been, I've heard pilots speaking about this off record over the last few hours, but I'm presuming that is pure speculation at the moment. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. It's just a speculation because I don't see any reason why should an engine fail.
Yeah, there's this question, and I think, some of you who've flown a lot of aircraft in the past, Wing Commander Vikram Mahajan, you're a former military helicopter pilot, both engines failing. Let's just hear from the survivor, the miracle man of this aviation tragedy that's taken place. Just some piece of hope. Let's listen in to the passenger in flight 11A, in seat 11A. His name is, I have the passenger manifest with me at the moment, and the name of the passenger that you can see on your screen at the moment, the miracle passenger of this aviation tragedy, is Vishwas Kumar Ramesh. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh was in 11A, Indian passport holder, British passport holder. Due administration is in touch with him. So, status at the moment, passenger Vishwa Kumar Ramesh is the one passenger who reportedly has survived. That's the miracle news that's coming in at the moment. The kind of story that will reinforce faith in many that there is someone above us all who's decided our time has not come. And that's the story of a survivor who's walked out unscathed in a crash of this kind, where the fear is that majority, if not all, the passengers on board and crew may have died. So we're trying to get you even more details. Listen to him. He's been asked by people about what happened, and he's just waving them away. But he doesn't seem to be too badly injured. The lone survivor, interestingly, just one seat behind him in 12A was Vijay Rupani, the Gujarat Chief Minister, former Gujarat Chief Minister. So that's the story that we'll keep tracking. The survivor reportedly jumped out of the emergency exit, is what we are being told at the moment. Okay, let's listen in again with the translations. Okay, we are getting more details about the passenger. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh has told Aaj Tak, this is the passenger you can see on screen, 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise and then the plane crashed. It all happened so quickly. When I got up, there were bodies all around me. I was scared. I stood up and ran. There were pieces of the plane all around me. Someone grabbed hold of me and put me in an ambulance and brought me to the hospital. My brother Ajay was seated in a different row. We had visited Diu and were traveling together. I can't find him anymore. I think that's the miracle passenger. Not necessarily the person we saw in the white shirt, but that's the face of the miracle passenger. That's the miracle passenger who still... Okay, both I'm told that's the same person, but that's him now in the hospital. He was carried there and taken by ambulance. That's Vishwas Kumar Ramesh. Let me repeat what he's told Aaj Tak. 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise and then the plane crashed. It all happened so quickly. When I got up, there were bodies all around me. I was scared. I stood up and ran. There were pieces of the plane all around me. Someone grabbed hold of me and put me in the ambulance and brought me to the hospital. My brother Ajay was seated in a different row. We had visited Diu and were traveling together. I can't find him anymore. Please help me find him. Please just think of what we've just seen. In a plane which has crashed into a building, 5 minutes after takeoff, exploded on crashing. There could be a miracle survivor. There is a miracle survivor who's recounting the horror to us. And that is the survivor of flight AI 171, who seems to be relatively unscathed given the scale of what happened on that flight. And therefore, our thoughts and prayers and the hope, of course, that maybe there are one or two other survivors as well, both in air and on the ground, of course. But that's the good news, in a way, on this very, very dark day, that we are getting you a miracle survivor recounting the horror of it here to India today. We're trying to, of course, cross-check the details of this, of the individual, who you can see also walking away from that flight which crashed in. But the miracle survivor tells us, I stood up and ran. I was scared. His brother was also on the flight. The brother has not been found at this moment. Meanwhile, visuals coming in. Home Minister Amit Shah has landed on the spot. He is there at the moment in at Ahmedabad airport, and he is, remember, also an MP from Ahmedabad, from Gujarat, the Home Minister of the country, landing there a short while ago. All of this is, of course, what has happened has shocked the nation, it shocked the political leadership, and it has sent a chill down the spine of many people who travel every day by air to see a flight, such a safe aircraft with a safety record, a wide-bodied aircraft crash in that manner. Okay, we're getting more. Those are visuals of Mr. Amit Shah. This is, of course, near the Ahmedabad airport. Remember, the plane crashed just outside the airport, just a little way away. There was a medical college, a medical hostel for MBBS students, and parts of the plane crashed into that particular area where Mr. Shah is at the moment examining what happened, being told by the officials the sequence of events that led to this horrific air crash in Ahmedabad. Okay, let's... Sanjay Lazar, there is a God out there. When you hear that there is a miracle survivor who has survived virtually unscathed, the only impression one gets is that there is a God out there who's decided your time has not come.
Absolutely. You know, Rajdeep, this is miraculous. That's all I can say. You know, it's absolute magic that, you know, somebody could escape from this inferno, as it were, and jump out of the aircraft. You know, God bless him. And I hope there are more like him who took the opportunity and jumped out to save themselves. I'm getting some very gruesome pictures on my mobile phone of the interior of the aircraft from Ahmedabad, and it's It's shocking to say the least. So to see this man walk out of a hospital bed on the street is unthinkable. It's just unthinkable, unimaginable. And I'm also coincidentally a survivor of, the previous wide body Kanishka. I lost my entire family in that 40 years ago, which the wing commander spoke about. So for
You
me,
lost your family in the Kanishka air crash?
yes, all my entire family, yes, 40 years ago. So this
I'm
crime-
sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Sanjay. Those images coming in of the Home Minister with Ram Mohan Naidu, the Civil Aviation Minister, as they look at what's been happening on the ground. Commander Vikram Mahajan, you're still with us. One of the things that is worrying people while we play those visuals is that that both engines reportedly failed. Does that surprise you as a former military helicopter pilot, that both engines would fail in this manner?
Rajdeep, the possibility of both engines failing at the same time, I would say yes, it's possible. But we need to look at the probability. What is the probability of both engines failing at the same time? It is very, very low. If you look at statistics, you will be hard pressed to find the number of incidents of both engines failing, and that too during takeoff. Sully was a case in point, but that was attributable to bird strikes. In this particular case, we still do not know the reason, whether it was bird strike or some other reasons.
Right. You're saying that obviously we don't know. I just want to focus on a moment on the survivor. We've had helicopter crashes, Wing Commander Vikram Mahajan, where there have been on occasion a survivor or two. But in a crash of this nature, this is a pure miracle, isn't it, Wing Commander?
Absolutely, sir. It's an act of God. God has been very kind to this individual, and we sincerely hope and pray that there are some more, at least, who've been able to find their way out of this wreckage of this crash.
Meanwhile, the tragic news that we can give you is we are also getting first reactions from the Air India CEO, Campbell Wilson. But the other tragic news is former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is confirmed dead. He's been confirmed by C.R. Patel, Union Minister and former Gujarat BJP Chief, has confirmed that Vijay Rupani is no more. In a moment, I'll speak to some colleagues of Vijay Rupani, including Shakti Singh Goel, who had tweeted about the Congress leader from Gujarat who'd spoken about Vijay Rupani. Remember, Vijay Rupani was Chief Minister of Gujarat after Anandiben Patel stepped down. And he remained Chief Minister of Gujarat till 2020 when he was replaced by Bhupender Patel. But he was Chief Minister of Gujarat for almost 3 years, comes from Rajkot, and therefore there is he is in a way the other side of the story. We heard of the miracle survivor in 11A, and Vijay Rupani was in seat 12A. Mr. Rupani was one of the senior most leaders of the BJP in Gujarat and had, let's listen into what C.R. Patil had to say about his colleague.
प्लेन के हादसे जब होते हैं वो भयंकर होते हैं और वो गुजरात में अहमदाबाद में हो, ये तो कभी गुजरात के लोगों ने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था। इतना बड़ा हादसा हुआ है, इससे पूरे गुजरात और देश की प्रजा भी हिली हुई है। इंटरनेशनल प्लेन में जाने वाले सभी लोग इसमें उनको क्षति हुई है, उनको कोई मौका ही नहीं मिला और शहर के बीच में होते हुए भी हम कुछ नहीं कर पाए। इसका बड़ा दुख है। सभी दिवंगत आत्माओं को शांति मिले उसके लिए प्रार्थना करते हैं। उनके जो स्वजन हैं, उनके ऊपर जो आपत्ति आ पड़ी है, भगवान उनको शक्ति दे, ऐसी प्रार्थना करता हूँ। और हमारे लिए तो हमारे नेता पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री श्री विजय भाई रूपाणी भी इसी फ्लाइट में अपने परिवार को मिलने के लिए जा रहे थे, वो भी इस हादसा का शिकार हुए हैं। भगवान उनकी भी आत्मा को शांति दे। भाजपा परिवार में ये बहुत बड़ी खोट आई है और इस हादसा इतना बड़ा है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी साहब भी और श्री अमित भाई शाह साहब भी तो तुरंत गुजरात पहुंच रहे हैं और जो भी बन सकता है, जो भी कर सकते हैं, उसके लिए भी यहाँ पर आकर करेंगे। प्लेन के हादसे जब होते हैं वो भयंकर होते हैं।
Vijay Rupani, senior leader, I just want to correct myself. He was Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2016 to 21. So he was Chief Minister over 5 years in Gujarat and had successfully led them to an election victory in 2017. So Vijay Rupani, senior BJP leader, is no more. He passed away. He was in seat 12A, just behind where the passenger, the miracle passenger, has survived. So you've got two stories coming to you straight. One, Vijay Rupani seated in 12A of AI Flight 171 and the passenger in 11A who survived. So a tale of two passengers. The Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, former Gujarat Chief Minister, no more, but a passenger in 11A, Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, has survived. And that his survival will also be really seen as a complete miracle. Apparently thrown out of the emergency exit and thereby managed to avoid the burns that have consumed, the burning flames that consumed that flight. I'm trying to get more details. My Ahmedabad correspondent Brajesh is back with us. Brajesh, the Home Minister is on the ground at the moment. I'm presuming airline services at the airport have not resumed yet.
See, Radib, airport has resumed all the flights as per normal from around 6 p.m. As the PRO of the airport of Ahmedabad airport has shared the information, the flight operations are resumed at 6 p.m. Union Home Minister and Union Aviation Minister has visited the site where we are right now. This is the BJ Medical Hostel where the plane was crashed. After the crash, plane was landed here. So he has visited, both the Union Minister have visited the site and they have inspected that what was the situation at that time and how the rescue operation was done. The armed forces as well joined the rescue operation with NDRF and SDRF, and all the local police officials were also joined with them. So this is the situation right now on the ground. To took the stock of the situation, which the horrific incident of the plane crash happened after more than 35 years in Ahmedabad. 35 years ago, similar kind of plane crash happened in Ahmedabad as well, but that time technology was not so much. Right now we have the access of the technology, and that's why we have able to show the visuals and the devastating visuals of the incident or the after the incident, how the mess was vanished, or the people were tumbled up at that time. How was the situation of the people? How the dead bodies were lying there. So we have seen such kind of devastating visuals because of the technology has evolved. So right now the Union Home Minister and Union Aviation Minister are visiting the spots. Now they are going to the civil hospital where the dead bodies were taken, and also the injuries were shifted to the civil hospitals, be it the resident doctors or the passengers who were badly injured during this incident. So now both the ministers along with Gujarat Chief Minister Patel, they are visiting the civil hospital, and they will meet the families of the victims or the victim families as well as the injuries as well.
Okay. Rajesh, we'll keep coming back to you for more updates. At the moment, as I said, the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has also expressed grief. Remember, there's an investigation team that is expected from the Air Transport Board of the United States to help India in assisting India in this in the aftermath of this tragedy, to find out the causes, the reasons. Boeings fly across the world. America has just signed a major Boeing deal with Qatar when President Trump was in Doha recently. The Tata Group has now announced a 1 crore compensation for the victims, for the families of the victims of this tragic air crash. 1 crore each to the kin of the deceased is an announcement that Tata's has made. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio expressing his immense grief at what's happened. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, we've been telling you, is no more at the moment. Mr. Rubio has said, heartbroken by what's happened in Ahmedabad. We continue to monitor developments and work closely with the Indian government. We stand with emergency responders at a time like this. Just to add, remember there are as many as 53 British nationals on that flight. So there is the angle of the United Kingdom as well, which will be looked at closely. 1 crore each to the kin of the deceased. Just want to get in more voices at this moment from the guests who are still with us to try and understand Wing Commander Anil Goyal, if you are still with us, just wanted to understand, this miracle survivor. This is truly a miracle. In a flight like this, could it just be that he managed to get out of the emergency exit?
It's a true miracle, Rajdeep. And whenever such kind of accidents happen, people generally go into a shock and they are not able to react for next 2 to 3 minutes. And they generally become, they don't feel anything. But this passenger somehow was able to react, and definitely some god of hand pulled him out of the crash site. As we can see, as the aircraft touched down on the ground, a big flames were seen and smoke was seen. Despite all that, he has managed to come out. I am a true believer in God, and I think God has actually pulled him out of the crash site.
It can only be a miracle when someone is pulled out of a crash site virtually unscathed, when everyone else appears to have either unfortunately tragically died or suffered from injuries of a kind that suggests recovery could be very difficult. This is the only case we know so far on this flight of a survivor at the moment. Just to give you a bit more information on Vijay Rupani, 2016 to 2021 was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, was seen as someone very close to Amit Shah in particular at the time, and had become a very effective voice as Chief Minister of Gujarat, working very closely with the BJP leadership at the center, but was removed equally surprisingly. Then eventually was designated to work for the party in other states, including Punjab, where he worked on the recent Assembly and Lok Sabha elections that took place, but was a party karyakarta who had a strong base in Rajkot, very old, from the older generation in a way of the BJP, or you want to call it the Gen Next of Gujarat BJP, I should correct myself. Vijay Rupani has passed away. The images you're getting is also of Home Minister Amit Shah, who is at the moment in Ahmedabad. Mr. Shah is the MP from Gandhinagar, and that's not very far from the air site. We're just playing you this footage. Take a look very closely. This has been taken from takeoff to crash. Just take a look. The flight has taken off and just doesn't go any further. And at around 460 feet or it begins to slowly crash, eventually there exploding into a ball of fire. The aircraft was simply unable to climb. It attempted to climb to about 650 feet. Ahmedabad airport, 200 feet above sea level. So about a 450 feet climb before it just crashed in the manner that it did there. You can see, let's play that again, of the flight taking off there from Ahmedabad airport, the wide-bodied 787 Dreamliner, and barely a minute into takeoff, the flight struggles to get any kind of height and starts descending in a manner that suggests that the pilot simply has no control left over it and eventually ends up crashing in that building. Those are those pictures that are coming in, that the smoke and the flames, the ball of flame that exploded in Ahmedabad, and we fear more than 200 people are dead. The US Secretary of State has given a fairly detailed statement where he's spoken about the tragedy in Ahmedabad and heartbroken and solidarity with the people of India. Wing Commander Anil Goel, you're looking at those pictures, your first reaction when you see those pictures as they play out. It appears that this is something almost unprecedented, isn't it?
Absolutely. When I see the aircraft descending down like a stone, actually I feel very scared. And all the viewers who must be watching this video and who travel by air very often would literally get very scared, I'm very sure. But I would once again like to tell on your channel to all the viewers here that air travel remains the safest mode of travel worldwide, and it remains like this because of the technology which keeps evolving, the training given to the pilots and the crew, and all the infrastructure which is available at the airports and the allied services. So, yeah, these visuals are very scary. And the way the aircraft is descending is very, very dangerous. I've never seen an aircraft coming down like a stone like this. And yes,
This is
this is
a
very unnerving.
wide body double engine aircraft that was doing a long haul flight. Wing Commander Vikram Mahajan, have you seen anything quite like this?
Not really, Rajdeep. These visuals, I mean, I would like to echo the sentiment of Anil here. It's really scary, but I'm sure there are definitely reasons which has led to this. And we must, look at the recovery of the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder to get a better insight into what really went wrong. And I would also like to reassure the people who fly on various airlines. This is an aberration. The air travel continues to remain the safest mode of travel, and also it's a very high visibility industry. Multiple crashes happen, but the number of lives which are lost and the visibility which it gets, makes it look very, very ghastly.
Just want to also, at this moment, Sanjay, have you seen any visuals ever like this? What we are seeing today is certainly unprecedented in Indian civil aviation history. I know that we've had crashes in the 78 crash when on New Year's Day a flight crashed into the sea off Mumbai airport, but this is certainly in recent times almost unprecedented.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. And I must point out, I've been on quite a few channels all day. This is the first channel that I've seen this angle from, and it shows clearly the length of the runway used. It shows the takeoff. It shows V1 and the V2, the takeoff and the climb, and also syncs with the Mayday and the, we got information that there was an ACAS message that he had no thrust and no lift, that came from the aircraft. And this shows that, beyond a certain point, there's absolutely no lift, no thrust, and it just drops like a stone. Like Wing Commander said, it drops like a stone out of the sky, and he tries to hold it stable to pull it. You can make out that the pilot is trying to keep the aircraft stable, but it's just falling like a kite that's cut and drops to the ground. My God, very shocking. I don't believe I've seen anything like this. And look at the fireball. It's miraculous to even imagine somebody would walk out of that. To see the man on your show a few minutes ago was even more shocking. And like I say, it's the majesty of God that somebody like this could emerge from a tragedy like this.
The CEO of Air India, Campbell Wilson, has just been speaking. Listen into what he had to say.
Flight AI 171 was carrying 230 passengers and 12 crew members on board. Of the passengers, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, there are 7 Portuguese nationals, and 1 Canadian national. The injured passengers have been taken by local authorities to the nearest hospitals. We are actively working with the authorities on all emergency response efforts. A special team of caregivers from Air India is on their way to Ahmedabad to provide additional support. The investigations will take time, but anything we can do now, we are doing.
Brajesh joining me from the ground at the moment, from the crash site. Brajesh, what can you tell us more about what's happening on the ground in terms of those who were in that hostel, that medical hostel? Do we have more details on them as well?
Right now we are at the ground zero where the plane was crashed. This is the Vijay medical hostel site where four buildings were there and
We're trying to get through. Okay, we're trying to we'll try and get audio to him, but remember, 3 confirmed dead. The Air India plane turning into a fireball as those visuals show you within minutes of takeoff. In fact, scarcely just over a minute of takeoff. These are visuals from an angle that gives you just how quickly the crash took place. There's the plane taking off, and barely has it sort of started to take off that you will see that it just doesn't get any kind of flight momentum and thrust. That's the takeoff of the flight. We're barely a minute into the flight having taken off when suddenly it appears that something is going wrong because the flight begins to virtually tail down, doesn't gather any kind of thrust. The pilot issued one Mayday alarm to the ATC, and then all contact was lost as the flight simply crashes in on the ground near Ahmedabad airport, near a medical hostel. These are images that will frighten anyone who flies, but as all our guests have been repeating, flying by air is still the safest form of transportation. Many more people do die of road accidents than they die in the air. But when an accident of this scale and magnitude happens, it will cause for serious inquiry and concern as to just what went wrong with AI Flight 171. That's the full sequence that we are bringing you at this moment of the flight in those moments before it crashed. Of course, the one piece of news that we keep reiterating, there has been a miracle survivor who's also been found on that flight. He survived the flight and emerged relatively unscathed. That's when the plane hits the ground and explodes into a fireball. Those are the visuals that will haunt the nation for the next few days. They will haunt the world and everyone in the global aviation or any passenger traveling in any corner of the world. I want to leave you at this moment with those visuals. We'll be back with much more. My colleague Gaurav Sawant will take over with many more details on our big story, the Ahmedabad plane crash, our thoughts and prayers for the families of the victims.